You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.
Hello and welcome to Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio with me, Ross Hancock. Today we've got a fantastic guest in the form of Queen's Park Rangers captain Clint Hill. Clint, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much for having me.
It's okay, great to have you here. 1-1 at the weekend against Huddersfield. Do you feel that the team deserved more than just the point?
Looking back at it, I think so. We created quite a few opportunities, especially the second half. I think a good few shots, some clearances as well, hit the bar. But, at 1-1 you're always thinking the other team only need one chance, and lucky enough, I think Sean Scannell went through and just missed for Huddersfield. So we'll take positives out of it. At least we're creating the chances, and hopefully sooner rather than later they'll all go in and we'll have a comfortable afternoon.
So is it quite a good feeling around QPR at the moment, Clint?
I think so, yeah. Obviously the relegation hit everyone hard here, but we've moved on. We made sure that we hit the ground running this year. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a headache from last season, and the losing feeling can carry into the following season, but we made sure that all the negativity was pushed away, brought a good few lads in, got rid of a few bad ones, and there's a lot better vibe around the place, and I think QPR now know that 11 people go on the pitch fighting for each other, which is all you can ask for.
And one of the players that has returned is Joey Barton. Has Joey been welcomed back at the club? Do you think he's going to be pretty important for the club this year?
He has, one thing with Joey is, he has his outbursts and all that, but he loves his football, and he gives 100% no matter what the situation he finds himself in. And he's come back this season, probably thrown in against Sheffield Wednesday when no one really thought that he would play, as probably one of our star performers. And he's played every minute since, and to be fair to me, he's been a massive part of our team. And we welcome him back, because we know that he'll always put a shift in no matter what. Now,
as a Stoke fan, I have to say thank you for your time at Stoke, because you're fantastic, hard-working, you got stuck in, committed, and it was really good to see a defender act like that. But
the times I did play,
I
wasn't injured.
That's what else I was going to say as well, yeah. But I also have to say thank you last season, because you gave away a penalty. You gave away a penalty at Loftus Road. And I think the 2-0 win for Stoke at QPR was a bit of a turning point for us. Did you follow the fortunes of Stoke last season?
Yeah, I always do. It's a great club. Obviously, I have mixed emotions there in terms of the injuries I suffered, and I didn't really play the amount of games that I thought I would. But the medical team there, and the rehab that I got, I couldn't complain. They really looked after me, and there'll always be a special club that I'll think of. Just going back to that game, I think that was a massive game for everyone, really, especially for Stoke. And I think at the end, all the players rushed over to the fans. You can just see the relief in everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
So I think it was a massive win for yourselves, and it was a massive loss for us, really. It kind of sealed our fate as well.
And whilst at Stoke, obviously the manager, Tony Pulis, at the time, you worked under him. How did Tony compare to other managers you've worked under? For example, how did Tony compare to Johan Boskamp?
Yeah, Tony was, he's a hard worker. He likes his team to work hard. We've done a lot of hard work on the training ground in terms of with our shape, with and without the ball. I found him really good. He's been a fantastic servant for Stoke. He really has, to stabilise the club in the Premier League for so long as well. It was a bit of a shock that they did get rid of him, but I think at times you can probably outstay your welcome at a club, after a good few years. And they just thought that he couldn't really push them on, and they needed a new face in there. But Tony was brilliant with me. And I'm sure everyone will agree that he was a great servant for Stoke City as well.
Definitely. And whilst we're on the topic of managers, Mark Hughes, now the manager of Stoke, another manager that you've worked under. What was your relationship like with Mark at QPR? Can you see him doing quite well at Stoke?
I think it's a totally different situation he finds himself in, to be honest with you. He's at an established Premier League team. I think all the groundwork and the foundations are laid for him. They've got a good academy, good training ground, and they've got seasoned Premier League pros at the squad, in the squad. So it'll be a totally different situation he finds himself into when he first came here. No respect that the whole setup behind the scene wasn't quite Premier League standard, and he probably had to do a lot behind the scenes rather than on the pitch as well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think we've all got our opinions on what could have maybe been done a bit better and what went wrong. But we'll keep them to ourselves for another day. But obviously, I think he and himself will look to probably look at this situation and think, I've got to prove myself again. Yeah. I'm sure with the lads that he's got there, he's got some great pros, older pros as well. I'm sure they'll be a strong team again.